Hi, I'm James, and today I'm here at the Imperial War Museum in London. So we're going to have a look around and see if we can find a few things to talk about.
So the first exhibit I've come across, which I think is worth chatting about, is this Little Boy. Now, most viewers will probably know that Little Boy was dropped on Hiroshima by Enola Gay on the 6th of August 1945. What most people aren't aware of is that there were 5 casings made to actually contain the bomb. One was obviously dropped. 3 of the others are exhibited in the United States. Interestingly, the one in the Smithsonian up until 1986 had all the component parts inside and was actually removed by the Department of Energy to remove it so that if anybody had fissile material, it couldn't be used. A bit worrying. This one was given to the British. It's the only one that's actually available outside the United States. So let's talk a bit about the bomb. It had a mass of 4,400 kilograms. It's 3 meters long, 71 centimeters in diameter, holding a 64 kilogram warhead of uranium-235, of which an average of 80% was enriched. Now that actually gave it a blast power that seems to vary. Truman in his initial statement said it was 20 kilotons. That's 20,000 tons of explosive equivalent. The consensus seems to be about 15. It's been as low as 12. It was difficult because this was actually the first time the design was actually used. It wasn't actually used in tests. The Trinity test used a different type. It used an implosion mechanism, whereas this is the gun type. To put the power in perspective, so going on the average of 15 kilotons, the Grand Slam equivalent, which was the largest conventional bomb, had equivalent power of 6.5 tons of explosive, not 15,000 tons. So you're talking a power less than a 2,000th of this warhead. Now, the name itself comes from the fact it was a follow-on to what was called the Thin Man design, which didn't work, which was named after the Dashiell Hammett novel and film character. So when they actually came up with this design, they called it Little Boy, a bit of a tribute to that. At the time, it was a very secure device in that they actually made the component parts in 3 separate factories, so nobody had the full design, and they actually destroyed the design after the war, which gave them a few problems when they actually found that the uranium weapons had a problem. And they actually ended up making a further 32 bombs, which were withdrawn by January 1951. The design was quite complex in how it was dropped. When it was dropped, 2 plugs were pulled out, which started a timer, which gave a guaranteed safe time of 15 seconds. After that, the barometric device activated till it was at an approximate height. It wasn't precise enough what they needed. So they then switched over to 2 radio altimeters. Now these were more accurate, but there were concerns that they would actually detonate based on other radar signals, hence the really complex design. And there were concerns that if the aircraft crashed, it could explode, or if it went into the sea, the radiation would be released. And there were major concerns about that. This debate went into whether it was better to crash on land or at sea, but that's a story for another time. This is just a quick look at the weapon, which is something that very few people will probably ever see. Unless you're in one of the American museums or here, you won't actually get to see what it looked like.
Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please click on the like button below so that I know what people like and I know what to make more of. Alternatively, if you've enjoyed it and think you'd like to see more, please click on the subscribe button. That way you get notified by YouTube whenever I bring out a new video. And you never know, there might be something in there that you hadn't considered, because I do cover a variety of things on the channel. And finally, if you have a little bit of cash going, I now have a Patreon account, I'm always looking for patrons, because at the end of the day, let's be perfectly honest, it's a good way for me to get a little bit of money that will use to buy review items or to travel to museums and so on. I don't put a huge amount on that. At the minute, all we've got is one tier charging £1 a month, which just, as I said, helps cover my costs. See you soon.